And one of the important tasks that many people think of when they're talking about the county clerk is the election process. And the county clerk is responsible for the ballots. They're responsible for making sure that the people are registered and to get the voters' pamphlet out in the mail, and then also to take those ballots back, count them, and then report the results. So those are, the highlights of the election process that the clerk is involved with. But the clerk is more than that. They're also in charge of all the records for the real property. When you get your home loan, or you get a lien put on your house when you're doing something, or you're getting a modified loan on your home, all those records come to the county clerk. The county clerk is, you could think of the county clerk as the librarian for all those records, because they all come to the librarian, the county clerk, and they're in charge of keeping those records and then having them available, searchable, and available for people to go back and get copies of. So they're the gatekeeper, the librarian, however you want to talk about that, for all of your real property records. And the same is true for business licenses and marriage licenses, and that all originates at the county clerk.
Is that right?
And then they keep and manage those.
So when a person gets married, do they take that to the county clerk? I don't remember ever doing that. I mean, that was a while ago for me.
That was a while ago for me,
Washington
too.
County for me.
I'm embarrassed to say I didn't actually go get the certificate when we got married. Sandra did that for me, so I didn't.
Oh, well.
I've had one opportunity, and I'll have to go down and watch that process at the county clerk's office to find out how that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where that originates. And then you're not just the clerk for those records. You're also the clerk for the commissioners. When they have their meetings and all that, all their records are then stored and recorded from the county clerk's office. And the same is true for the Board of Property Tax Appeals. You hear people say the BOPTA, that the Board of Property Tax Appeals is also managed by the county clerk. So if you are arguing with the assessor about the value of your home and the property taxes, you try to come to some agreement, that doesn't work. The clerk is actually the person that sets up a meeting for the Board of Property Tax Appeals and then manages that interaction between you and the assessor. So it's an awful lot of things that the clerk does and is responsible for, other than just being the chief voting officer of the county.
Wow.
It's not glamorous. It's not exciting. It's detailed stuff. It's not something that is real flashy that's going to excite a lot of people, but it is something that's necessary. It's something that you need. You want someone you can trust, someone with integrity and the ability to handle that, and be able to manage staff. It's a small office too, so
you need to get along with the people around you and hope the people like you. In other words, it wouldn't be nice to elect somebody who didn't get along well with their people that work underneath them.
That could be trouble.
Yeah.
That could be trouble. And the people that you work with and the people that come in the door. And regardless, that's one thing that I've mentioned to many people, is that regardless of your your registration, if you're a Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, whatever it is, the county clerk needs to deal with whoever that is the same way, regardless of who they are, how they're registered. Each person needs to be treated the same way.
Yeah, yeah. And again, from what I know about you, you get along very well with people. When I didn't know you, I felt like you really showed me a lot of respect. And
thank you.
Yeah.
I think it comes back to that core growing up in a family that's taught that every human life is equal. I'm not more equal than you are. The person coming in that front door that I am to work with is just as important as I am.
Yeah.
And I think that regardless.
Yeah, well, and that's really what conservative values are. I mean, everything seems to hinge back to politics, unfortunately, or our, the Bible, our spiritual upbringing. But it's just conservatives believe in everybody's equal. They need to be treated fairly.
We're not always perfect in how we and how conservatives deal with other people, but that should be our goal.
Yeah.
Our goal should be treating everyone as an equal.
Treat others the way you want to be treated.
Exactly.
Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're never going to be perfect, but that should be the goal that you should work to.